What's going on, guys? Welcome to your second stimulus check update, stimulus package update, and news report for Monday, January 25th. I can't believe it's already towards the end of January. We are coming close to February already. It's already been almost 1 month since the $900 billion stimulus package was passed, and there's still many people that have not received their $600 stimulus checks. We are still waiting on rental assistance, and many states are still struggling to get out that additional $300 per week for unemployment benefits. Right now, the American people need more support, and I want to explain what is currently going on. There's some major news coming out this morning, and I want to explain what is happening. This morning, we're getting reports that the House is expected to put a bill on the floor sometime this week. This bill, which I have explained over the past week or so, and I reported this multiple times over the past week, this bill is supposed to include a $1,400 stimulus check and, second thing, vaccine funding. That will include vaccine distribution, vaccine development, testing, and also tracing. Now, this bill is expected to be somewhere between $600 and $700 billion. That is quite a bit, because there's only two things in this bill: stimulus checks and vaccine funding. Those are two of the big priorities for many Democrats and for a lot of Republicans as well. What we know at this point, some states like New York have already exhausted their allotment of vaccines. It is because of this that they are wanting, not just New York, but Congress is wanting to put together some type of bill, whether it's a standalone bill or a comprehensive bill. Get it done, and get it done quickly, to provide additional vaccine funding to get these out to the proper states. Again, New York is not the only state that is currently struggling. Multiple states are in this exact same boat. So hopefully we can get through this. Also, it's because of things like this that Congress is looking for a new way to provide for the American people if a comprehensive stimulus package cannot be agreed upon at this time. Right now, all reports indicate that Republicans and Democrats cannot agree. It also is showing us that Democrats and the Biden administration, which is Democratic, cannot agree either. That is a big issue. According to multiple senators yesterday, nobody from the 16-member group that met with the National Economic Council Chairman Brian Deese, nobody really wanted to split up this package. They all want to try to pass it as a standalone, as a comprehensive stimulus package, as a complete bill. However, according to reports this morning, the only way to really get something done quickly is to do standalone bills, and to pretty much do a lot of them. To do state and local government funding as a standalone bill. To do things like unemployment benefits, a $15 federal minimum wage. Do all these things as standalone bills. The issue with this is Republicans are going to have a little bit more power if they do this, and a lot of the things that Republicans don't want: state and local government funding, unemployment benefits, $15 federal minimum wage, additional child tax credits. Those are things that Republicans will not go for. So if they're not included with other Republican priorities, or something that would be considered a Republican priority, then chances are it's not going to pass, especially in the Senate. Now, even though Bernie Sanders says he is willing to do a budget reconciliation, which, if you don't know what that is, it simply means that instead of getting 60 votes in the Senate, you only need 51. You only need the simple majority. Well, in order to get 51 votes, just every single Democrat has to vote yes. Well, there's an issue. One report out this morning indicates that if they go this route, that it could take months, just to see a vote on this bill. Not even see this, pass and signed into law, and we see checks start coming out in months. We will be in this kind of negotiation for months before we even get to a vote. Now, this is because the budget reconciliation allows each senator to offer amendments. Now, there's 100 senators. Currently, the reports out today are saying that we could easily see 1,000 different amendments on this proposal. and these would each need to be gone through. So, again, a budget reconciliation, like I've been saying for the last week or so, would be extremely messy, and this is one of the reasons why the Biden administration, and particularly President Biden, does not want to do this. He knows the process. He knows what is included. He's been through this before. So, he understands how long it would take and what it would actually entail. And right now, we do not have that time. Right now, all reports indicate the fastest way forward is to pretty much get a bipartisan agreement with Mitch McConnell and Republicans. However, we know that's not going to happen. So, the next option is to provide a handful of standalone bills. This is why this $1,400 stimulus check and vaccine funding bill is considered the best option right now. Because everybody, all right, most people in Congress, most lawmakers, are currently saying the two main things that we need to get done. First one is vaccine distribution funding. We have to have that, and we need it now. The other one is we need additional stimulus to go out to the American people. However, both Republicans and Democrats are saying it's not targeted enough. We need to fix the targeting, because right now it's said that if you're an individual, you make less than $75,000, you get a full stimulus check. Then it tapers off and it kind of phases out from there. If you're a couple filing jointly, you can make up to $150,000 and still get a full stimulus check. The phase outs are so slow that if, let's say you have 3 children, it's you, your spouse, and 3 children, so 5 of you guys, the phase outs are so slow and so limited that you could make up to probably about $325,000 and you would still get a little chunk of stimulus. And that's what they're saying currently needs to be changed. Now, right now, what we know is the Biden administration is very upset. They are upset because right now the current talks are, let's provide standalone bills. This is a Republican priority. Let's do standalone bills, pass what we can pass now, and we will negotiate the rest later on. Well, it is because of this. The Biden administration and President Biden is extremely upset because this leaves out things like state and local government funding. If we do not put state and local government funding in with vaccine distribution and stimulus checks, chances are state and local government funding will not pass. It also includes school funding, also includes a $15 federal minimum wage, additional tax credits for children, which again, here's something I want to point out because a lot of people don't realize this. If we see additional child tax credits, and we see that in this proposal, what you need to understand is that's not going to happen this year. No. The additional child tax credits, taking it from pretty much the earned income credit or child tax credit is $2,000 per child right now. Well, that would increase to $3,600 if you have a child between 0 and 5. It would be increased by $1,000 to $3,000 if your child is between 6 and 17. So, what you need to keep in mind is that would not happen this year. So when you file your 2020 taxes here in 2021, you're not going to see this new tax credit if it gets passed today. No, you're going to see this in 2022 when you file your 2021 taxes. So this is the reason why a lot of people aren't even talking about this, because why does this matter? We can deal with this in the fall. We could even deal with this in the summer. We don't need to deal with this right now. This should not be a priority. And there's many other provisions in this as well that the Biden administration is currently a little bit upset about because that's what everyone's leaving out. Now, what we know is that Nancy Pelosi wants to get the $1,400 stimulus checks. She wants to get these passed quickly. The House has already voted on the Cash Act and passed the Cash Act, which would have provided a $2,000 stimulus check amendment, which would have been a $1,400 stimulus check to every single person. Now, this was a promise by Biden himself, and this is one of the things that is currently being said is right now, was promised by President Biden. This has been promised by Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer as well, that they will immediately put this to a vote. Well, it hasn't been immediate. They've been in office for about a week, a little bit less than a week, and still no vote. So, Nancy Pelosi is currently holding a slim majority in the House. Chuck Schumer is currently tied with Mitch McConnell, and they cannot risk losing voters at this point. Right now, what is already being discussed is, why did we vote Democrat? Why did all these people vote Democrat? They voted Democrat because Democrats told them and promised them, we will provide $2,000 stimulus checks immediately if you vote us into office. Well, People voted them into office, and it's not looking like $2,000 stimulus checks are coming. That's going to be a big issue. Right now, what we are waiting on is this new proposal from House Democrats. We are expected to see this sometime this week. We are hoping that this proposal will come out very soon. If this happens, then we need to look and see who actually qualifies for the stimulus check. What we have learned in the past, or what we have heard so far, is that everybody will be included. This includes the filer will get a $1,400 stimulus check. Their spouse will get a $1,400 stimulus check. Their children will get a $1,400 stimulus check. And their adult dependents will get a $1,400 stimulus check. This, again, will be for $1,400. You just heard me say that. It will not be for a $2,000 check. This is not going to be a $2,000 stimulus amendment, as all sources are currently saying. This will be a $1,400 check, meaning adult dependents who only receive the $1,400, they would not get the full $2,000 because it's not a stimulus check amendment. It is simply a stimulus check. That's completely different. Also, this would most likely not allow states to take back child support. So if you owe child support, you would not have to pay that. You would get a full stimulus check. Again, that's just what reports are currently saying, but things could obviously change. Also, what we're hearing from multiple reporters is that that many Democrats at this point do not fully support the $1.9 trillion stimulus package. And President Biden is obviously very upset that they don't support it as it stands right now. But the biggest issue right now with the $1,400 stimulus checks is it's because it's not targeted enough. That's the reason why many Democrats do not support the $1.9 trillion package. They're simply saying this package is good, it's a good start, but it's not targeted to the people that actually need the money. And again, Congress doesn't want to just go spend the money frivolously. They want to put the money into places that's going to see the highest return. Right now, the money that is being spent, okay, from the $900 billion stimulus package is what's in question. This is what multiple lawmakers yesterday, the 16 lawmakers that were talking to Brian Deese, they questioned how much money has actually been spent. Well, they really got no answers. But what I can tell you is that right now, they want to see that the funding goes out first before they agree for another round of stimulus for those exact same things. For example, the rental assistance program, the money's been sent to the states. But how much of that has actually gone out to the American families, American people? Very little, if any, has gone out as of right now. That's just for rental assistance. What about extended unemployment benefits? We still have an additional, 7 weeks of unemployment benefits that still need to be paid out. And so what Congress is saying is, let's see how this plays out. Let's get a little bit closer to that March 14th deadline before we jump on board and say, okay, yeah, we need more unemployment benefits. So that's currently what's being discussed. Again, this is just what they are talking about. There's probably stuff that isn't even being said behind closed doors that would be breaking news, but this is just what they are telling us. So if this is what they're telling us, what's actually happening behind closed doors? What are their true feelings? Now, another thing that's making President Biden a little bit upset is the fact that everybody wants to make changes to this $1.9 trillion stimulus package, and he knows these won't yield the best results for Democrats. For example, some want to adjust the overall size of the stimulus package, make it a little bit smaller. Don't extend unemployment benefits clear until September 30th. Don't extend everything until the end of the fiscal year. That's what's currently being discussed. If we shrink the package from September 30th to maybe the end of July, the end of June, so 2 to 3 months smaller, that's going to make this package probably anywhere from about $1.4 to $1.6 trillion. So it's going to shrink it quite a bit, and it's going to make it a little bit smaller, which would make it more manageable, easier to get through with Republicans. Now, they also want to split up the bill into smaller, easier to manage parts. This is a Republican priority. Let's do standalone bills. Let's pass what we can pass now, and then we will renegotiate the rest later on. And they would like to group important priorities together, and the things that are not so important that can wait, and put those in a different package, and we'll vote on those separately. For example, let's say we vote on the $1,400 stimulus checks and the vaccine distribution funding. Let's vote on that. Those are two key priorities. Let's vote on that. Okay, we know that's going to pass. Well, and then we'll vote on, let's say, state and local government funding and the $15 federal minimum wage. If we do that, the issue is pretty much every single Republican is going to say no. But you probably will have a few Democrats that say, no, I don't think passing a $15 federal minimum wage at this point would be the best use of our time and our money. So, again, the government isn't paying this. It's the employers. But they're thinking like, okay, the best use of time, best use of money is to work on getting people back into their jobs. No matter what the pay is, let's just get them back into their jobs. Well, if we're providing unemployment benefits that are exceeding the amount that they'd make from their job, and then you put on an executive order, which was already done, saying if you feel like you're going to get infected, then you don't have to go back to work, that's creating big issues. So what I can tell you right now is the chances of the package right now being broken up, even though the Biden administration and many Democrats just completely oppose this, the chances of this happening are now looking more and more likely based on the information we're getting this morning. So if this happens, do not expect to see it a $15 federal minimum wage. Don't expect Democrats to push back as far as doing a budget reconciliation. Yes, this is an option, but I don't see this as the best option moving forward. This might be the only option later on, but as of right now, I do not see Democrats pushing back and saying, hey, we're going to do this, we're going to do it right now, because it's probably not going to happen for about another month, if not a little bit longer. And if things like this happen, then we might not see stimulus until March, possibly even April at the earliest. So that is what we know. I just want to keep you updated on everything that's currently going on. Consider subscribing so I can continue to keep you updated on everything that's happening, and I'll see you guys on the next one.